Faye Webster, Underdressed at the Symphony album review. Let's chat about it. Hey friends, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this latest album from Miss Faye Webster, Atlanta-based singer-songwriter. She's been at it for quite a while now, over a decade, which is crazy because she's only like 26 still. I mean, back in the day, she released her debut album at the age of 16. I don't even know what the hell I was doing at the age of 16. Probably nothing good. But I thought the album was really good, Run and Tell. I mean, for the most part, this was a very old school, very classic singer-songwriter and sort of alternative country album. But it had a lot going for it, even though it wasn't perfect. But with her follow-up record, her self-titled album, I thought that she did a little growing all around. The production was a lot more solid all around, and she kind of veered off a little from that old-timey sound for a more modern, soft rock and indie rock sound. And I thought she did it pretty well, even if some of the ballads in the later half were a little underwhelming. My ears were definitely glued, and if that was the case by then, by the time Atlanta Millionaires Club came around, I was completely enamored with her stuff. I mean, I saw her around this time, and she just put on a really great show, and I thought that her songwriting specifically was just really speaking to me. It was just so warm and cozy, and tracks like Kingston just, I don't know, just nuzzled up to my heart and made me feel good. And if you know me, then you will know that her last album, I Know I'm Funny, Ha Ha, is one of my favorite singer-songwriter albums of the last 5 years or so. Damn, that's a good one. Now, leading up to this album, I thought that some of the singles were really good, but some of them were shockingly inconsistent. It made me worry about this album a little bit, and my worries do kind of come to fruition. I mean, it's not all bad. It's certainly not a bad album, and Faye's music is undeniably very, very charming. Like Thinking About You, this album's intro, which is just about 7 minutes long, which is crazy to think about for Faye's music, but it's done really well. It's a breezy, love-filled ballad filled with just Faye's beautiful vocals and really straightforward songwriting, but it does work here. Also, all of that beautiful slide guitar. Give it to me. But like I said, songwriting-wise, if you want to break it down, this track is a little straightforward. It's far from her most intricate performance, but I will say this, on a track like this, it actually works to its advantage because it makes this a very universal, very, undeniably understandable track. It just has this youthful innocence about love that is just so heartwarming. And as a matter of fact, while it is a very lengthy intro, it just breezes by and intros in Faye's music really nice. And I dare you to listen to this without being in a good mood. I dare you. Also, I do really enjoy But Not Kiss. It's one of the first singles that dropped from the album, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. It took me some time to warm up to. It's definitely a little outside the box for Faye with that weird off-kilter piano riff. I mean, the pacing here in general is just really, really genuinely weird for Faye. But if you look at it just slightly different, it is just business as usual. Just, her coming out of her shell a little bit, trying a little something different, and for the moment it works. I also do really love the drama of this track and the storytelling. Also, I do really love Wanna Quit All the Time. This sunny, laid-back soft rock is just absolutely intoxicating. When Faye really locks in on a sound and a groove, she really does put out some just truly enchanting music. I mean, I hate the beach. Look at this beard. I hate the sun. I don't want to go outside ever. But listening to this track, I just want to hit the beach and grab a beer. I don't even drink beer. It's so warm. It's so inviting. The slide guitar should be illegal. It is just so, Once again, personally, I can't be in a bad mood listening to this. And the little jam that we get, that little slide guitar solo towards the end, A+. However, the weirdest thing about this album is just how many risks that Faye takes that don't pay off, sadly, like Lego Ring featuring Lil Yachty, her friend Lil Yachty. This was a track that I was genuinely so curious to hear. I mean, I had some really high hopes for this. I don't really talk about him much, but I do have a very strong soft spot for Yachty. But this is a very average, sort of clunky tune that doesn't come together as an exciting meeting of minds. It's just really awkward, and Lil Yachty's contributions, at least for the first 2/3 of this track, did not need to be there. I mean, the off-kilter sort of psychedelic ambiance is interesting, but I spent over half this track trying to figure out what the hell I was listening to. And feeling good today, the award for the track that does not need to be here goes to this awkward pile of crap. And why is Faye using vocal effects on this track? Like, not necessary. And Lifetime, ever since it was dropped as a single, I really thought this was below the bar. And listen, I don't mind a nice ballad from Faye. I mean, look at the simplicity of the opening track on this album. But this track is so freaking boring and one note and underwritten. It's another track that's over 5 minutes. I mean, this track has a great foundation. It's got that Faye Webster bass that, she really has been able to put some great stuff together with. And there's certainly some sweet moments, but this is so boring. And this album's title track, Underdressed at the Symphony, it's just okay. It's just kind of okay. From a distance, it sounds like Faye Webster by the books. It's slow, it's airy, it's a ballad, it's got that slide guitar. She's got all of her bases covered, but this track really doesn't grab me. I mean, the chorus is super catchy, but this track doesn't show me anything that we don't already know. I feel like we've been here. It's just so safe. And a lot of the other experiments that didn't work out here, they should have just been left at home. And it's a shame because Faye's music, when it's on, it still puts a big smile on my face. Like, He Loves Me, yeah. What a breath of fresh air this track is. It's one of the punchier and more urgent tracks that Faye's ever put out. It's got a woozy bass riff and a lot of synth and piano as well. Not to mention, Faye's performance on this track is really, really commanding. Everything here does seem like a risk in something new, but it works out really nicely. It's also really catchy, and eBay purchase history is one of my favorite tracks here from the sheer quirkiness and personality and storytelling. I mean, this is just a blast of a track. This is the kind of quirky storytelling with Faye's music that I fell in love with years ago. This takes all of the warm machinations of her music and takes it up to the next level. It's super meditative and really hypnotic. I mean, this instrumental just sounds like, I don't know, it kind of sounds at points like it was made to be played in Margaritaville 24/7, but I don't think that's a bad thing. And it really does put a big smile on my face. I love this track. And Time, as a finale, is a really great left hook. This is Faye's approach at a sort of classy, laid-back lounge jam, but she does it with her personality and eccentricities intact. There is something so incredibly just charming and sweet about this. And the strings that pop here, there's a lot of other tracks that they've popped up on this album, and a lot of times they've just been awkward or out of place or just not so good sounding. But here, they add a lot of drama to this as a finale, and in a lot of ways, it's the finale that I hoped that we would hear. This album for Faye's kind of middle of the road. I feel like she's definitely made worse projects, but this is far from the consistency of her last project, the instantaneous of the I Know I'm Funny, haha project. But this album, when it's on, Faye still has this way of melting my heart and putting this big smile on my face. I just worry because, God, some of the experiments on this album really do not go out the way that she really planned for them to. It's just kind of middle of the road for me with Faye Webster. I'm feeling a decent 6 on this album, but let me know what you all think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.